Blast off! I'm sideways. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Someone put some messages in. I had to put my phone sideways because I was at like 15% on my phone. So, and then up and down. I don't know if you guys were around that call when I had to put my phone up and down. Oh, hot mess. I'm good? Okay, cool. I was like, am I going to be like sideways? But it's easier if the cord comes off. Otherwise, the cord hangs down. Drive me nuts. Hi, Academy. Happy Wednesday. How is everybody? My throat really hurts. Shocker, because I've been like, I don't know, like I think I recorded like seven or 8 videos today, maybe. So, and then it always makes me feel like I'm getting sick, but it's just because I did too many records today. So hopefully our voice holds out. Yeah? Little TMI, Teresa. Little TMI. Not gonna lie. Oh my goodness. All right. There was a bunch of people in here, and now there's not. Should we wait? Does someone want to go message the group chats and tell them that I'm live? I'm waiting for part 3 of the bloopers. It's really funny. That's only like a couple of my videos, by the way. You should have seen the ones that I did today. All right. Let's fix this setup I got going on. Hold up. Okay. So we got you guys sideways. There. Are we good? You can kind of see the cutoff. We're fine. It's just the Academy. But these aren't records for the... Jessalyn was just testing it out. Hey, guys. So, Jessalyn, you got to go cancel your live. All right. All right. Are we excited for tonight? 37er with Jessalyn. Well, somebody go message her. Why is Jessalyn live? Someone go message her. I messaged her. Well, somebody go message Jessalyn. Tell her that everybody's on some live that she's doing. Okay, we're jumping back up. You're ready for positive vibes in the Academy. The Academy is where I push you, Sarah. Okay, should we like give it a minute while we're figuring this out? Yeah, I know she was just in here. That's super weird. Jessalyn has a really hard time. You know what she does, you guys? And she's Miss Tech Queen. She always like puts the events on because I'm always the one that does the events. By the way, I'm going to do that tonight. I'm going to do May's events. But she always puts the events on and they go for a month. And the live ends up sitting up there. Okay, the number's jumping back up again. So I think people are figuring it out. It was at like 40. Then it jumped down to 20. So that was super weird. Okay, I think we're good to go. Number's coming back out. Everybody's finding it tonight. Are we excited? Academy people! Yeah, I keep sending you messages that you're live. Yeah, and it's just, okay. Hey, guys. All right, tonight we are diving in. And that's kind of a pretty big one. I'm not going to lie, which I don't know why I did a bunch of records today. Actually, if I'm going to be totally honest with you guys, I stopped doing records because I knew this was going to be a little bit of a longer one. And that is doesn't respond. That's Bella outside barking. Do you guys hear her? She's barking at cows, by the way. She's figured out we have cows next door. This is, you guys, lead like a movement, not a marketer. Yeah. Our numbers jumping back up again. All right. All right. Are we ready? I think everybody's figured it out that Jess is not live and I am. Okay. Let's get into it, okay? Let's get into it. We're not going to wait any longer because it's already, 3 past. It's not that bad. All right. So let's get one thing straight before we do dive in. This training is not about boosting your aesthetic, okay? Let's get that clear, all right? Lead like a movement, not a marketer. It's not about figuring out how to get a viral reel. It's not what this training is about. Okay? And it's not about understanding some mysterious algorithm. This training is about ownership. Yeah, we're going to dive into that one tonight. You guys ready for this one? All right? It's about audacity. It's about waking up and saying, I'm not just here to sell. I'm here to shake shit up. Is what it is, right? And that's what this Academy is about, isn't it? Taking it to the next level, because the truth is Nobody needs more content, guys. They need clarity. They need leadership. They need people who are actually stand for something and not just say, trust me, and then drop some sort of Canva graphic. None of you inside this academy, this is why this is live inside this academy, none of you are here to fit in. You're here to take up space. And a lot of you, right? When you start relating to some of this, okay, let's have a safe word. Pineapple. Okay, I can't be a fire emoji because everybody always uses the fire emoji. But okay, Sarah says banana. All right, Sarah says banana. We're gonna use the banana. All right. A lot of you have been playing small because you're afraid of being too much. But being too much for the wrong people is exactly what makes you magnetic for the right ones. So if you've ever asked yourselves, why aren't my posts converting? Why do I feel invisible? Why am I still not making the impact I want? It's because you haven't been giving people a reason to follow you beyond a product. And that is going to change tonight. This isn't a strategy, you guys. This is some marketing tool or strategy. This is the identity shift that you didn't know you needed, all right? This is where branding stops being surface level and starts becoming spiritual. Wow, Jamie's getting deep tonight. Okay? Your brand isn't just some colors, some logo. It's your calling. You know, I was talking to one of the group pods tonight about that, right? She was asking because she talks a lot about mental health, etc., right? And she thought she had to switch to strictly just talking about finance, right? And that's not it. It's not it, right? Because it is, because that's her passion. That's that craving for a deeper connection, stronger loyalty, and real authority online. And it starts right here with your message, with your mission, and with your movement. So let's rip the Band-Aid, or let's rip the filter off for a second. Because a lot of people out here are just building content machines, not movements. And the reality is, you guys, you can have the prettiest profiles, you can have the most viral reels, the most badass sales funnels on the planet, and still be completely forgettable. Banana. So April's trying to type it in there to get the emojis. You did both. But a movement isn't built from a strategy. It's built from a stance. It's not a marketing trend or an algorithm hack. It's not something that you test and tweak in your spare time. It's a fire. It's a mission, a line in your souls that say, I'm going to say this even if nobody claps. Even if no one understands, even if it costs me the people who don't get it. That's polarization, by the way, but that's a whole nother training. I digress, all right? This isn't hype, is what I'm trying to say. This is depth. And most people on here, most people don't go there because it requires conviction. I hope my shirt's not coming up. I don't need that on a replay. Good Lord. Guys, and conviction requires courage. That's a big word. Courage. If you want to build a brand that lasts longer than your current Instagram phase, okay? If you want to create something that outlives trends and transcends platforms, you have to stop chasing attention and start anchoring your message. You have to stop asking what's working and start asking yourselves what's worth standing for. Because the truth is, movements are built on beliefs. Products change. Offers evolve. Prices shift. But when you are so rooted in your belief, your business becomes unshakable. The algorithm can't touch it. The competition can't duplicate it. That belief becomes the spine of your story. And the people attached to it, even when they forget what you sell. Movements make people feel something, right? This isn't, and I'm not talking about get someone to click a link, okay? Tonight is about moving past that. It's moving way past that. This is about creating content that makes someone cry, hope, and wake up. It's about saying the things that they've been scared to say out loud and then letting them exhale because you said it first. Courage. I don't have any sound. Can someone not hear me? Okay, sorry. All right. Okay, cool. Because that's happened before. Okay. People don't remember what you taught them. They remember what you made them feel about themselves. Movements build identity. When your brand becomes a movement, people stop calling it content and they start calling it home. They see themselves in it. They fight for it. They don't just buy from you, they belong with you. And that loyalty, you can't fake that. You can't discount your way to that type of tribe, that type of group, that type of boss babes. I'm just kidding. See, a brand communicates, but a movement connects. A brand solves problems, but a movement lights a fire. Now you can put the fire emojis in. So let's think about some brands that's out there. Let's give some real world examples. Let's talk about Nike. I always use Nike as an example, but and I think people can relate to that. They didn't build their empire on sneakers, right? They built it on belief. Belief that anyone, regardless of their background, body type, or barrier, could be an athlete. They branded courage. Lululemon. They don't just sell leggings. They sold a lifestyle, is what they did. A feeling. They built community in every single piece. But my favorite one, and one of the best brands, if you ask me, out there, Dove soap. You guys remember Dove soap? Do you guys know Dove soap? Remember, we all know what Dove soap is. They didn't market soap, did they? They turned a bathroom product into a body image revolution. That's not by accident. That's not by luck. That's through intentional emotional branding. That's leadership through marketing is what it is. So let's bring it back to all you guys. Don't you miss over this part, okay? I'm going to ask you a few questions, right? What do you give people permission to believe? What do you make people feel the moment they land on your page? Would they say, she gets it? Or would they say she's like everyone else? Or he, sorry, Peter and Will. I saw Will on here, okay? Would he or she get it? Or would he or she just be like everybody else? And no, I don't want you guys to go outsource this after. I don't. No chat GPTing it, Christina. I'm just kidding. No templates. I want it to come from you. From your story, your pain, your joy, your scars, your standards. If your brand doesn't have a spine, it's going to collapse. And the second things get hard, and they will get hard. Life gets hard is what's going to happen. Your business will get hard. But when you've planted your flag, when you've declared your beliefs, when your brand isn't about what's hot, but what about what's honest, that's when it becomes undeniable. So here's the challenge right here today. I want you guys to stop thinking so much like a marketer and start thinking like a messenger. Decide what you stand for. Decide what you'll never again apologize for. and build your movement like it's already echoing behind you. Because one day it will be. So say it down. Say it loud with me, guys. I am no longer available for a watered down messaging. Okay? I am no longer available for watered down messaging. I don't care how long you've been in business. I don't care if you've launched or if you've made 20K or 1,000K. If your message is still playing it safe, you are blending in. And leaders do not blend. You do not lead a movement by being neutral. I call them floaters. You guys have probably heard me say it all the time. You lead it by being decisive, by being clear, by being bold enough to stand on something, even if it's not popular, especially if it's not popular. Your line in the sand is not a cute little brand statement. I know you guys are working on those. Some of you might want to go back and do some of those worksheets again after this training tonight. It's the heartbeat of your brand. It's the belief that drips off every post, every story, every caption, every call to action. It's the sentence that lives in the back of your audience's minds long after that you've logged off. It's the thing that they quote back to when they finally reach out. It's not about being catchy. It's about being true, authentic. And the truth, it's what builds trust faster than any 10 steps funnel, any workshop, yeah, I just said that, ever will. It's your core declaration. No tagline, no pitch, no niche statement is ever going to compare to the emotional spine of your brand. It's the things you believe so deeply, you say it to a stranger. You say it to a hater. And you say it to an empty room because it's not an applause. It's not for an applause. It's for alignment. That's right. That's right. So I'm gonna go in here and read. You guys are like way off the side of my phone. Here's a framework I love to get people out of that hype and into the real, right? Let me break this down. I want you guys naming your person so clear they feel seen immediately. You're calling it out when you're done with it because you've been there too. That's the reality, right? You've been there too. Okay? So let's give a I need that today. Right? And the reality is when you anchor to that message, when you stop over explaining it and start repeating it like your brand depends on it, it becomes magnetic is what it is. Not because it's trendy, not because it's true. And let me be blunt. If you're trying to speak to everyone, you're resonating with no one. You try to speak to everyone and you speak to no one, right? Generic content isn't neutral, it's forgettable. Vanilla doesn't get shared. People are dying for someone to say the thing they've been afraid to say. That gets attention. That builds loyalty. So here's what shifts when you claim your line in the sand. Your content stops being confusing because every post is filtered through the same belief. That's your filter. Your audience gets braver because they feel seen by someone who's walked the same road. Your business gets easier because you're not marketing anymore, you're leading. You want to know what happens when you finally start saying the things that feel risky? We all have them. I know you do. The people find you. The ones who've been lurking silently, we know those ones. The ones who didn't comment for months, but saved every single one of your posts. the ones who needed someone to go first, the power of speaking your truth clearly and consistency. So tonight, I don't want you writing a cute caption after this when you write a post. I want you writing a line in the sand. I want you asking yourselves, what do I believe in that no one is saying enough? What lie in the industry and am I ready to burn to the ground? Who is my message really for, and what truth do they need to hear from me today? And when you write it, I want you to share it. Don't save it for later. Don't wait till you polish it down the road. Don't make it perfect. Drop it, let it rip, and let it land. Because you are not for everyone. So stop trying to appease everyone. But when you show up with that set of courage, you become unforgettable to the ones who've been waiting for someone just like you. This is how movements begin, not with perfection, but with permission. Give yourself permission to say the thing. Say it clearly. Say it often. And say it like everything depends on it, because it does. I'm losing my voice. Let's stop calling it posting and start calling it what it actually is: positioning. Because content isn't something you just throw out and stay visible. I hope none of you guys are doing that. It's the voice of your movement. Every post you make is either building loyalty or blending into noise. There's no more neutral anymore. There's no more floaters. People scroll so fast that if you don't make them feel something in 3 seconds, you're done. You want to convert? You want to build an audience that doesn't just follow, but fights for your brand? Then your content has to carry weight. It has to come from something deeper than add value or be consistent. We're not here to teach hacks. We're here to teach humans. A lot of people get that. It's crazy. But a lot of people forget that it's humans on the other end of what we do. There's 3 types of content that builds movements. And I don't mean nice to haves. I mean required if you want to stand out in 2025 and beyond. To infinity and beyond. I don't know why I just thought of that. It doesn't come from a template. It comes from truth. Number 1, belief shifting content. This is where you shake the foundation of what your audience thinks is possible. You call out the old way, you name that lie, you shine a light on what they've accepted for too long. I do those all the time. This is where you say, you've been told success looks like X, but I built mine doing it like Y. X, Y, Z. The experts say hustle harder. I say heal deeper. Everyone's shouting about 6 figures, but no one is talking about the burnout behind it. Belief shifting content is how you take someone from maybe to this person gets me. That's belief shifting content. It creates trust by flipping the script. I don't know if you guys, who here follows me on TikTok? Anybody here follow me on TikTok? I know obviously, I know Sarah and all you guys do. Okay? How often do I give the real, raw look at what it takes to be successful, right? And how many people connect with that? I am that person online. I am that authority online, and I tell them, I will not blow smoke up your ass. I will tell you this is difficult. I will tell you if it's not for you. I will be the first one standing in line telling you, girl, not today. Right? Be raw. Number 2, narrative content. This is where you stop preaching and start connecting. This is not a polished story. It's raw truth is what it is. The time that you cried on the bathroom floor, The moment you almost deleted your business. I know a lot of you have come back in lately because of the workshop. The time someone doubted you and you showed up anyways. You think people don't care about your story. You could not be more wrong. You couldn't be farther from the truth. But they just don't care about your highlight reel. I know you guys worked hard on them. They care about the version of you that looks like them. Right? Struggling, human, real. Your story is the most powerful thing that you guys have. That's a story that I know you're scared to tell. The one that will explode your brand? Yeah, that one. You don't need to be relatable by pretending, you guys. You need to be relatable by remembering. Remember what it felt like to start, if you've been here for a while. Remember what it was like to fail. I remember every single failure. When you questioned everything. And say that. I've been there more often than you guys would ever even imagine. Number 3, invitation content. This is where you shift into leadership. Not, hey, here's my offer, but this is what I believe. And if you believe it too, come with me. I just sent one of those messages in, I think, group 1. Circling back to that message about someone asking me if they should shift their mental health purpose. No, not at all. Think about the people that that are sitting there waiting for you to help them. Invitation content says, if you felt invisible online, let me show you how to finally get seen. If you've been stuck thinking that you're not ready, I built this and I'm here for you. You don't have to do this alone anymore. Walk with me. Let's freaking go. This is how you build community, not with trendy hooks, but with emotional buy-in. You're not asking people to buy. You're inviting them into something bigger. Again, I just said that. Who was in group 1? All my group 1ers, Rob. I just said this. Right? There's so many people, you guys. So much more than money. I want you guys to understand that. I was one of those people. I think I said this on another training. It was so much more than money. Yeah, like my husband has a good job, right? Like we can live, we can survive. This is way back in 2017, by the way, before my husband got injured and everything like that, okay? Logging industry wasn't shutting down as much for fire season. I sat there, slayed at my leg. Oh, this will fell over. Slayed at my leg. Can you imagine my films in my closet right now? Like, wow, Jimmy's still fired up tonight. Okay, slayed at my leg. My husband was off. I can't remember if he was working away, but he wasn't home. And my husband was never home. He truly wasn't. And had to pick up Casey and Colton. Had to get something from the grocery store. Had to take Colton to hockey practice. And it was like an out-of-body experience. I was folding a shirt, and it's just like I was folding a shirt, standing in my laundry room, and it was just like everything slowed down. And I thought to myself, is this it? Is this what I was meant to be? Don't get me wrong, right? I love being a mom. I thought I was going to be a doctor. Like I thought I was like, my grandma died horribly from cancer when I was 10 years old. It was the most traumatic experience of my entire life. And I wanted to cure cancer, so no other 10-year-old would have to go through that. Turns out I don't like blood. But like, I just wanted to be able to walk into a room and everybody stopped and wanted to listen to what I had to say. That meant more to me than money. You can't put a price on that. Thanks, Sarah. You know what I mean? There's no price on that. As I was saying to group 1, I'm like, if I stopped making money tomorrow, I would still do this. Because when I walk into a room, people want to hear what I have to say. So how do you know if your content is working? It's not about the numbers. It kills me when you guys are so caught up on the numbers. It's about the reactions. Are people saying, this hit me in your inbox? Or I've been thinking about this all week? You know, my personal favorite was that I get all the time. I feel like I've known you my whole life. Are people messaging you with full paragraphs, not just emojis? I still get those, don't worry. Are people becoming the message, not just liking it? If not, you don't need a better strategy. You need more heart, more soul. Let me ask you this, and I want you guys to answer honestly. Do you feel your own content before you post it? Does it come from your gut? Or just from a saved folder? Yay, Lori, I love that. Would you stop scrolling for it? If not, it's time to stop posting for pressure, you guys. Quality over quantity, and start posting for conviction. You don't need to say more. You need to say what matters. You don't need to be louder, unless you're me. That's just who I am. You just need to be more true. From this point forward, I want you to write like you're talking to the version of you that was ready to quit. The one who was in tears at midnight, Googling how to make money online. The one who showed up again even when it wasn't working yet. That version deserves your content. Not a sales pitch, not a hook, a message. So here's the new rule of all the Academy members. If it doesn't move you, do not post it. If it doesn't scare you a little, you're not digging deep enough. If it doesn't say what you wish someone said to you, it's not done. Keep going. If you want to build a movement, then build content that comes from your actual movement, from your fight, from your fire, from your truth. Because when your audience starts to feel you, they will never forget you. And that's when everything changes. Okay, so let me ask you something real. If your brand disappeared tomorrow, I want to ask you guys something. Would anybody feel it? Would anyone message you asking where you went? Would your message echo or would it just evaporate? This is where it gets uncomfortable, because this is where we talk about legacy. A legacy doesn't come from a viral post or a sold out launches. It comes from consistency with conviction. It comes from courage when nobody's clapping. Too many of you wait for the recognition, for the clapping. And you have so much more to grow. You truly do. It comes from showing up when it would have been easier to stay small. Too many people are building brands like it's just a hustle. And don't get me wrong, hustle has its place, okay? It does. But hustle without heart, that's just noise to me. If the only reason you're posting is to make money, people can feel that. I call it commission breath. And if the only reason you're building a brand is to look successful, it will not last. Because here's the thing about legacy. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you mean. Legacy is when your message lives in people's minds. It's when someone quotes your content in a hard season. It's when someone hears your voice in their head saying, don't quit, keep going, you were born for this, or Jamie will come after you. I'm just kidding, but I will. Legacy isn't built in a moment. It's built in the decisions to lead like you matter, even when no one's watching. Even when your numbers are down. Even when the last thing you post flopped. Because leaders don't lead for likes. They lead because the mission matters. So how do you lead like it's a legacy? You go first, is what you do. You say the hard things before it's popular. You build with people, not just for people. You stop treating your business like a product and start treating it like a platform for change, an impact for honesty. Here's what I want you guys to remember. You all watching this are someone's blueprint. Someone is watching you right now, wondering if they have what it takes. Wondering if it's still possible for them. Wondering if it's too late, too behind, too broken, too whatever. I don't know. And your decision to keep showing up is changing their life. Even if they haven't told you that yet. Pretty crazy, isn't it? You're not creating content. You're creating culture. You're not selling a product. You're selling a possibility. When you guys change that in your mind, game over. It truly is. You're not building a brand. You're building a body of work that says, I was here. I didn't quit. I chose to lead. Because leadership isn't about perfection. God knows I'm not perfect. My God, I don't even know how to accept people in a mighty. I was just talking about that in the groups. I have no idea about tech. You guys, I'm awful at it. No idea. You want a big fancy video? Not for me. There's a reason I do talking videos, okay? Because it's a click of a button. Right? But I still have presence. Because that's what it's about. Presence. It's about responsibility. It's about holding the vision even when you're the only one who sees it yet. And that's tough. You're not here to build something that works for a season. You're here to build something that shapes people, that anchors them, that gives them a new standard to rise into. That's what leaders do. And the best leaders, they lead with legacy in mind, not ego, not recognition, not claps, not numbers, not likes. You know they say that leaders lead from the front? Bullshit. Bullshit. Leaders lead from the back because they show everybody else what they're capable of. That is a leader with legacy. So tonight ask yourselves, is the way I'm showing up today building something that lasts? If my kids watched my stories, would they feel proud or confused? If I had to pass the brand down, would it still hold weight without me? Because your name deserves to be on something bigger than a highlight reel. That's why. It deserves to be attached to a movement, to a message, to something that echoes long after you log off. You're not just a marketer. You're not just a creator. You are a legacy builder. So start leading like it. So let me be crystal clear before I wrap this up. Movements are not built in the comments. They are built in the commitments. My kiddo came in and told me how proud she was yesterday. Oh, I love that. What you do this week, you guys, matters more than what you just learned. This is the moment where you stop consuming and start creating. I want to say that again. This is the moment where you stop consuming and start creating. I'm giving you that permission. Where we stop planning and start leading. If you take anything from this training tonight, who cares about the Canva template, honestly? You guys get hung up on so many stuff that's so trivial. You don't need another, you don't need the extra extras that are out there, the sparkles, the knits, the grits, the music, whatever, okay? You need a movement. A movement doesn't happen from thinking, it happens from doing. So I'm going to give you guys a challenge, and I don't want it done next month, okay? Not a year from now. sometime this week, right? And not when it feels easier for you, not when you have more time. Now, I'm just kidding. Okay. This is your moment to draw your own line in the sand and build content that carries it forward. So here's what we're doing. Post your line in the sand, not gently, not safely, not buried in a caption. I want you to say it clearly, loudly, and unapologetically. This is the post that tells your audience exactly what you believe, who you're here for, and what you know are no longer available for. No tip, no hype, just truth. And when you do, you'll feel the shift, the hesitation. You're going to feel that fear. Good. That means you're doing it right. Because the moment you stop trying to be liked, the moment you stop needing recognition, the moment when you need all the claps, or you stop needing them all, you start being respected. Think of this like your first public campaign as a leader of your own movement. You're not just sharing content, you're building a belief system. Post the real story. This is not a win, it's the moment before the win. The breakdown, the doubt, the time you almost quit. Tell it like it happened. Give people a reason to say, me too. Post number 2. You might have to come back and watch this replay. The brand belief. Your declaration. This is what I know to be true post. No stats, no selling, just the truth that lives inside of your brand and demands to be heard. Okay? And the post number 3, guys, for the real story, the brand belief, the invitation, all 3 that we talked about tonight, the call to arms. Okay? I want you guys to write these 3 posts out over the next week. The walk with me energy. You're not pitching, you're not pulling people into momentum. You're telling them, I built this for you. Let's move. You don't need a graphic, you don't need a trend, you need a message with a spine. Remember, because every part of your brand should make people say, this isn't just calling, this isn't just content, this is a calling. Most people won't do this challenge. I know, making those the 3 main posts that we talked about tonight. You're probably going to take notes. A lot of you probably on here taking notes. You're going to hop off here and say, wow, Jamie brought the heat tonight. I don't blame you. That was powerful. But you're going to keep posting floater content is what you're going to do. You're going to keep hiding your truth behind trends. You're going to play it safe. And you're going to stay invisible. But not this time. Okay? Not this time. No. You know why? Because you're done playing small. You're done waiting for permission. I know I gave it, but you wouldn't need it anyways. You're done hoping your next post just hits. You're ready to build something real. Do the work. Share your posts. And you know what? I want to see these posts. Share the posts in the comments after this replay is posted. Share them in here. Let's be the people for the ones that come after us. Be the one who goes first for everybody who watches this replay. And whoever's going to watch that replay after. So others know that they can follow. Let's lead. Because movements don't happen from what you believe. They happen from what you're brave enough to say out loud. You have everything you need already. You don't need more. You have everything you need to be undeniable. You've got the story. You've got the message. You've got the voice. Now go give it a spine. Post with power. Lead with legacy. Move like you mean it. Your movement, everybody on here starts today. So go build it and go build it loud. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me tonight. in our Lead Like a Movement, Not Like a Marketer. Hope I didn't break my clicker. And yeah, I'll be posting the events, you guys, for the rest of May after this tonight. If you guys are in the workshop groups, we have a surprise coming for you tomorrow. Love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.